3, 2, bases loaded, dog. Man, thank you. Welcome back to the show. Thank you guys for subscribing, for showing some love, and man, it's been great, man.
For
the
support, comments, the
support from people, man. I get phone calls. Nice. Man, you guys are killing it. You guys are doing great. And man, we want to put new content out there.
They did say that I was the better looking one.
Bro, you know that's bald-faced lie, man.
I'm just saying that's what they said. You know, so.
You know, you're the one out here, man. We're going to put some challenges, man. You know what I told this guy?
No, we're not going to start today.
I told this guy that, you know, man, season's about to
Let's
start.
Get the fall going first.
Season's about to start. You know, we got to look good. You know, we got to look good. So here in front of everybody, right now, let's do a weight loss challenge. Whoever lose better in 3 weeks, and we're gonna let you guys vote. All right, bro. I gained some weight. I mean, we're clearly about the same. So come on, are you in or out?
I accept your challenge. We're gonna, you know what? Let's let the wives decide what the winner gets.
Sure, let's do that. I vote that, you know, I get to buy you a lingerie from Victoria's Secret.
That's not even. Hey, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let's change the subject. Let me ask you a question. Hey, what has impressed you so far about the 3+ weeks of our fall training? Who has kind of been the kid that you're like, wow, I wasn't expecting this? And anything you see, anything that we feel like, hey, we really need to improve this? Or
man, first of all, you know, being something brand new program for the parents to buy into what we're doing, and to me, that's huge. You know, so thank you to the parents of the Stick Fire program that have believed in us and what we're doing. And man, I felt like when I brought you in, you know, someone with experience, someone that I can, I don't have to be the hands on deck all the time. Someone that I can rely on and trust with the same passion, the same knowledge, and even more knowledge. Man, to me, that's huge. And man, we have some younger players that at first they were a little afraid of working out with the older players, but the younger guys are stepping it up.
Come on, drop the name.
They're stepping it up.
Name.
Okay, I'm not over here to like boost your ego, but Samuel is he's 11. Okay, he's about to be 12. So he comes Samuel. He's facing Bobby. Bobby is one of our 13U players. Man, this dude is easily throwing 70+. And he just nails Samuel in the ribs. And Samuel just stand there and starts charging the mound. Like he's about to beat up Bobby, and Bobby is a lot bigger and stronger.
That is straight up the Puerto Rican in him.
And I was like, what? And I was so happy for him because, man, he didn't back down. And you and I were talking about, man, you know, he's still young, but he needs to get rid of, you know, that attitude sometimes that, you know, that he's still young, but now, you know, working out with the big guys, I have not seen him back down to anybody.
Like the challenge. I think there's a few that they've been. I don't think that there's been some of them that have been outspoken in terms of that, but they have been guys that have stepped up that you're like, that's interesting, you know.
Yep.
But you know, I think that, and me personally, like this last 3 weeks, like just gave me a joy again, man. Just love being out there with you, man, and. You know, I gotta give you that pump right there, man. I think what we're doing is great. So I really do hope that this continues to build the right way. We're not trying to get 10 or 12 teams as we initially talked back in the day. I think we're just trying to do things the right way, and and that's something that I kind of wanted to talk about today. Just, you know, people, parents. Not really understanding and the negativity behind it, and not really just we we, we got to stay in the lane. People got to learn how
Yep.
to stay in their lane, and people just really got to learn how to just be positive about your
Yep.
kid.
Man, to me, it gets to the point that there's different programs out there, and we approach. There was a lady that she commented, and I'm not throwing her under the bus. She wanted to make sure that we were not generalizing all the programs out there that they just want to grow. They want to have 20, 30 teams out there. They want to make money. And not everybody's out like that. I feel like but at some point, I'm not going to agree with all the programs out there, just like some other programs are not going to agree with us.
I don't think, and that's the thing. Like, I think that, and I'm going to throw this example out there, and you know how I talk about hitting all the time. Recently, I came across a group of guys, the Castro brothers. They really did a work on Contreras, the catcher from the Cardinals. And look, I'm not here to agree or disagree with their methodology about who they are as hitting coaches and whether their philosophy is right or wrong. That's not my place. That is not my place. However, I am going to say that they were able to give them a breath of fresh air to Contreras, as he was able to gain a little bit of confidence and go out there and perform. And the negativity behind some of the comments, because I read some of their comments, I'm saying, like, look, you don't have to agree with their teaching. It's like you don't have to agree with what I teach. But let's just learn how to stay positive.
Stay in your
Stay in your
lane.
lane.
To me, going back to them, and let me tell you, so I don't know them personally, but back when I was in Shreveport, working with the Louisiana Titans, they did a hitting camp and they came in and everyone loved them. Everyone was excited. And I'm not here to say, oh, what they're teaching is wrong or this or that. No, I mean, I feel like as a teacher, you have to be open to different options.
You have.
Because
everybody that is online, whether it's Jodo or Castro Brothers or Teacher Man or anybody, they have found success. They're found success. And who are we to question the question? When we come to hitting, and look, and everybody might disagree, but I think in my eyes, the best hitting coach ever, the GOAT, is Rudy Jaramillo. And people don't have to agree with me, but look at the numbers.
Yep.
The numbers speak for themselves. But it's just people. Some people need to stay positive about. It's like, look, reserve the negative comments for yourself, and that's really what we hear. And like, I hope that this last few weeks, nobody is taking this in a negative way, because we just want to open the book to conversations that people don't want to have. Like, look. And I'm going to talk about the 12U North Texas Aces for a second. One team, Matt Solis, has had these kids since AU to now. Great program. One team. This team's always in the top. And the negativity out behind, they don't practice enough. Hey, you know what? He's doing the right thing. He's doing what's doing right for his kids. And this is like what we said a few weeks ago. You don't have to be in the best situation. It has to be the right fit for your kid at the time. Same as Lally. Lally coaches, or he's a general manager for the SBA Bolts 14U team.
Yeah.
Look, whether his methodology is like, hey, I'm going to grab people from all over the country and go play in the top competition, let him do it. Is it working? Clearly is, since his son, an LSU commit, a possible first rounder. So why are we questioning this? Why are we like, hey, we just get so caught up with being negative to those guys or being negative to a guy like Matt Solis, which honestly is just a bunch of haters. They're like, hey, they're doing success. How they're doing success in such a simple way?
Man, people have such a hard time not commenting on something. Like, you have no idea how many things I scroll up on Facebook, Instagram, wherever, whatever social media platform. I don't agree with everything that I see, but just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean that I go in there and post a negative comment about those guys because I don't know who they are. Mm-hmm. It's same thing about, I cannot judge you based on how you teach hitting. You can't judge me based on what I teach hitting. Everyone teach based on their own experience. Not everyone has the same experience. That will never happen. So, man, regardless of who you follow.
Nah, I will say this, dude. I don't want to be a catcher around you, dude. Dude. You are like drill sergeant.
I have to, man.
You drill sergeant. Let me tell you guys this. I was talking to one of our dads on one of our teams, and he happened to be sitting right behind where they were doing this catching drills, and he said, man, poor those kids. I mean, those kids were constantly moving, and I'm just giving you a hard time. I think it was terrific. I think I saw the videos, and it was amazing. And boy, I mean, that's what you need, that discipline. That discipline that,
man, you know who
catcher's
I got
a
that
different
from?
breed, man. Catcher's just a different breed.
Man, you can't be a catcher if you don't have tough skin.
Who's your favorite catcher growing up?
And of course, growing up, coming from Puerto Rico, of course, Judge.
Wow.
Pudge.
Wow. Shout out to Pudge out there.
I don't want to see Judge catching. I don't think that's going to work. Pudge Rodriguez. I mean, growing up, every catcher in Puerto Rico wanted to be like him. And then, of course, when he retired, Yadier Molina became the top dog, and not just.
What do you think the best catchers, or well, I don't want to say the best catchers, but why Puerto Rico has a history of many good catchers? I mean, you talk about Benito, Avi Lopez, the Molina brothers, Pudge.
To me, it comes down to the workouts. Like, if people think that the way that we train catchers is hard, man, we're not. It's not even close compared with how I grew up in the academy in the International Baseball Academy with Wei Sung. That was the name of our catching coach. And, man, he was a drill sergeant with catchers. Like, catchers, you play catch with your shin guards on. Catchers play catch with catchers. You don't play catch with the infielder. You're going to find a catcher and you play catch. Like, it was nonstop work. Like, there was no standing around.
You know what I liked about the workouts is the detail. Like, we as coaches, and I'm not including myself in there because I do take pride, but we already forgot about the small details. Yep. Like, how many times you go to practice, and that's including stick fire, that we go and they're just the balls all over the place. Oh, chest. Get used to hitting the man in the chest. And that's where it starts. That's where guys don't realize that the first thing that any college coach sees those guys do is play catch.
Play catch. Man, I go way before that, man. Like, what are they wearing when they step on the field? Like, man, it runs me. If I see a kid not wearing a belt, to me it's like, man, you got poles after practice.
Can I tell you that can I tell you a story that there was a team that I was involved with that the parents got mad because I told their kid that he needs to wear a belt?
I mean, I would have walked away, man. Gone. But, man, to me, it's just accountability. But, we've seen that at the highest level. And, an organization that was very strict with this was the Angels. The Angels, were very strict about the way that you present yourself, even how you rode, the clothes that you wore on the way to the games. Like, you couldn't just wear whatever you want, man. You had to dress up like a professional. And to me, kids not showing without a hat, no belt, man, just wearing just random stuff, football stuff to baseball practice, like, man, it stops right there. Like, kids not running the bases. Coaches, hold them accountable. You cannot get so caught up with parents because at the end of the day, man, these kids are not going to make it. They're not going to make it past your travel ball team if you don't start enforcing the little details, like, hey, wear the right uniform to practice. Put your hat on. Wear your cleats. Like, man, if you don't wear your stuff, man, don't even let them on the field. Same thing on the games. You have a guy that don't show up with the right stuff. Sorry, man. Come sit. Man, tell your mom and dad to come get it. But you got to sit down. Like the academy that I went, there was a day, or day started very early, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I forgot to pack my socks. So I have pants with no socks on. I did not practice that day. I was literally doing bleachers for the entire hour and a half that we were out there practicing. They didn't let me. Guess what? I didn't forget my socks again. I didn't, because there was a punishment. There was an accountability that taught me that, hey, you don't show up here wearing whatever you want. And to me, it's just, we just got to get back to that. It's not being, being nitpicky, but man, it's just,
and that's
just wear the right
that's the
stuff.
aspect. That's one aspect of it. And now you talk about in the baseball side of it, like base running, not running, like not hustling. I just think that we just gotten away from that. And shout out to the guys the coaches that do value those small details. Like I said, I think that there are good coaches out there. Now, there are some coaches that are out there to collect the check and let me get some fungo and then
man.
we go home and
Some deep waters, man.
and
To
and
me,
look,
like, what does the perfect practice look like to me? From the moment, like, the way that we start, it starts with you and I having a conversation prior to the practice.
Yep.
Say, hey, this is what we're working on today.
Yep.
That's where it starts. To me, coaches these days, they just show up to the field. They have no game plan. They have no idea what they're working on that day. So pretty much you just wasted your time out there because all you did was you hit it because that's the only thing you know how to do. And there was that ton of standing around. So you just wasted your time where you could actually just, before you got to the field, man, this is what I'm going to work with this guys. And time stuff to the T. 10-minute stretch, this. And the way that, kind of going through it, you and I, we start with a conversation. This is what we're going to work on. This is the team fundamental that we're doing for this day. And right after that, we stretch. Man, don't let kids just get there and start playing catch. Like, it shows who you are as a coach. If a kid gets to the field and the first thing they do is get their glove and play catch, no stretch, no nothing, and then we wonder why kids are getting hurt. From there, have some agilities, work on some footwork. Work on some footwork, some fundamental fielding. You have no idea how many coaches I see in tournaments getting so mad at their catchers for not blocking the ball. And when you go and ask those coaches, hey, how much time you guys spend on blocking at practices? 0. So you're telling me that I'm going to get mad at this guy for not blocking a ball when you don't even teach blocking at practice? You just put them out there to catch bullpen and expect them to learn anything?
Even that, I bet they don't even catch bullpens as often.
They don't. And let's get, man, I'm gonna get real up in here.
Oh gosh.
You cannot, I'm talking to you right now. You have the title of a head coach. You head coach. How many guys want to be a head coach? They had no idea how to work with catchers. They had no idea how to work with pitchers. They had no idea how to work with infielders, outfielders.
Don't know how to hit fungo.
Don't even go there. They can't even throw batting practice, man. They gotta do front toss the whole time because they can't throw. But you are here giving yourself the title of the head coach. Guys, if you want to be a head coach, you better are knowledgeable in all those areas of baseball. If not, just be a regular coach. But man, you can't give yourself that title because all you're doing is setting yourself for failure when parents come to you and ask you something about their kid and their position and you're just making things up. You know,
But it's
and
easy to collect that first and 15, that check, baby.
exactly, man. But that's what we're running through these days. You know, just get the paycheck, man. I want to be known. I want to be known for the organization or the program. To me, the organization title is huge, man. I don't take that lightly, Victor, and I hope you know that. Organization, there's so many things that have to go together. Organization, you have to be organized.
Yeah.
Like to me, okay, let's call it a program. Program is something that, is starting. Because when you call yourself an organization, you better have all your things lined up before you call yourself an organization. How that starts with all your coaches talking the same thing. You cannot have one coach.
Let me interrupt you right there.
You got one coach teaching this thing, and then you have another one teaching.
Exactly. Like how is that an organization? How is that like how are you teaching? You have 5 teams, five different ways. There's just no way. Like then look. Division. Then if that's the way, and don't take anything negative. But then don't call yourself an organization. Just we're 5 teams. We just call the same name.
That's it.
Because an organization, hey, we value teaching. We value teaching the same way. Where the coaches are on the same page. The coaches are trying to get the most out of their athletes. And then we go out there and win. But if you're so concerned with, hey, we're just going to go out there and win so we can, what you said last time? Look at me. Look at
my ring, my picture every Sunday. The same people liking the same. No, man. Like, just go beyond. Make it intentional. Make it intentional where gather up your coaches. If you have more than 5, more than 10, gather them up and say, hey, we're literally for this next hour and a half or hour, we're going to talk about this is how we want our practices to look.
Like, not only that, think about this for a second. And look, I know that logistically there's more stuff that goes to it, and obviously nobody does this, or if they do, I do apologize. But there's got to be a system in place of like little Johnny needs to increase his bat speed by this time next year in order if he wants to make a high school program. How many organizations really go player by player trying to develop a plan in order? So once again, don't call yourself an organization. Call yourself a group of kids that wear the same jersey because you guys need to look like a uniform. But that's why I give a shout out to all the coordinators, farm directors, hitting coordinators, pitching coordinators, because you know how tough it is to create 120 to 160 plans for all the minor league players and be able to keep track of them every day. It's not an easy task, but that's what an organization is.
Yeah, you have to be intentional, but I think that going back to everybody wants to make a living out of there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, great. But man, how intentional are you being? How many organizations like, okay, ours as a program, when I wanted to learn, start this thing, Victor, I don't have a kid on any team. Have you realized that? I don't have a kid on any of the teams that we have. I don't have any. So you actually have to have a passion for why you're teaching, because you're not out there just because your kid is out there.
Yeah.
Like you gotta, because what happened when your kid is gone? Are you gonna teach with the same passion? I mean, is it really gonna be there, or do we have to be concerned when your kid graduate high school and now there's younger teams in your program that, man, like what's gonna happen? Is this gonna be over when my kid is done? No.
And that's people think like because I have a kid, like that I'm not that daddy ball title. I was like, man, my kid has to earn it. You know, if anybody that was at the World Baseball Classic and saw my son getting pulled out in the third inning in a game that it was 2-1, because I know that gives us, at the time, it gives the best chance to winning. Man, look, you got to earn it.
Yep.
You know, and this daddy ball
I
thing.
don't blame him, man. He threw. He didn't do what he was supposed to.
He didn't do what he didn't know to.
Bad attitude,
come on, sit down.
man. Come sit down.
Come sit down.
And
but
I applaud you for that. It wasn't easy. It was a close
not
game.
easy. It was not easy to take a kid that's a great defender and take him out. But hey, you got to earn it.
Yep.
And look, once again, like I said earlier, I really hope nobody sees this as a negative way. But these are conversations that people are thinking. They just don't want to say it.
Man, can you believe that those are the text messages that I get? There's a, hey, man, I mean, I wish more people will talk about these things, because we all think it. We all want to say it. But if we say it, that you don't want nobody to know it's you. They're posting anonymous on Facebook.
Don't you love that, anonymous? Well, let me tell you a story about what happened to us. Man, if you're real, put your name out there,
exactly.
man. Like, hey, put your name out there,
Throw them out there, and if it's us.
Organization out there. If it's us, then it was us.
Exactly. But, I mean, at the end of the day, going back to being careful how judgmental we are with some programs and some coaches and even people, man. I feel like, man, just stay in your lane.
Yes.
You don't have to comment. Just scroll down. Yeah, you disagree, man. Just keep going.
If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
And
Just
that goes
reserve the
overall, man.
comment.
We could live in a better place if we'll be mindful of, man, if those guys want to do it like that,
Let them.
let them.
Like, hey, who are we to, like, look,
we're
if you want to go out and take lessons with so and it's $300 and 95% of the people think that he doesn't know what he's talking about, it's not your problem. It's not your money. It's not your money.
I can't believe this guy's charging $150 for an hour.
So what?
I
Are
mean,
you paying for it?
Don't pay it.
There
Go
you
to somebody else. Man, I have people complain about my prices.
Don't come.
They're like, hey, if it's too much, I'm sorry. It takes me 30, 40 minutes to get anywhere. I can just charge you $20. I mean, I got to pay for gas.
People ask me about that. People ask me, they tell me, like, man, that's pretty steep on the price. I'm like, do you know how much I got to pay on a rental?
Yeah.
So
exactly. But it happens, man. But, man, Victor, man, and I know this might be a little side note, but, man, our nation is so divided. And it comes down to people not staying in their lane about what they believe and what they stand for.
You gotta listen. There's I heard a great quote. There's a reason why God made 2 ears and one mouth, for you to listen more and talk less.
Man, can you believe that I have coworkers that when they find out that one of them was voting for Trump and another one was voting for Harris, they don't talk to each other anymore. Can you believe that? Just because they have different opinions about these people. Like, they were going to lunch together, they were talking, like, and all of a sudden they did not know that they had different thoughts on who were they going to vote for. And now, I mean, it's like war. Like, they don't talk to each other. And I'm like, guys, I'm not against one or the other. At the end of the day, the only thing that you're responsible for is your family, regardless of who wins. Regardless of who wins, you have to take care of your family. You have to provide. Yes, things might be a little rowdy, based on your opinion. But at the end of the day, man, you got to take care of your family regardless of who wins. I'm not saying over here I'm Republican or Democrat. No. What we're doing is we cannot treat people differently just because they think different than you. You can't.
And look, and I think we'll be in a better place if we able to sit down and just have communications and just be mindful and be respectful of somebody's opinion. So, but like I said, man.
Man, I got people that say they're leaving the country if this person wins or these other ones. Like, man, we're going to Japan. Like, well, mind yourself.
I don't care what anybody said. United States is the greatest country on earth. You know, I heard old joke back in that day that United States is the only place where people go hunting on a full stomach.
Wow, first time I heard that, man. You just make that up, man.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. The United States is the only place where people go hunting on a full stomach.
Wow. Yeah.
And on that note, baby, anything else you want to add?
Well, do you actually hunt? Like, have you had deer meat?
Dude, I don't even play Call of Duty, let alone go hunting.
Wow. Man, I don't play video games, but, man, that's another topic. How about this, bro, man? No, let's leave it right there, man. Let's leave it right there.
Anyhow, we do want to thank you guys for all your support. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Now, I will want to say this announcement to all you guys. There will be a hitting camp November 2nd. The location will be determined. However, me and this beautiful individual next to me will be in attendance, as well as hitting coordinator for the Los Angeles Angels, Tony Jaramillo. So stay tuned. There's going to be a Stick Fire off-season program that will be starting in the month of November. So stay tuned with that. And we just want to say we love you guys, and we just appreciate all the support.
Yep.
And we can't wait for next time.
Man, and the camps are not only for Stick Fire players, We're open to
everybody.
Anybody. The camps and the programs that we're doing, it's like an off-season program. So, we want to go out there and show what we got, and we can't wait to see you. But thank you once again.
3-2, bases loaded, dog.
We'll see you guys soon.
Peace.
Bye.